Hello, this is Watch It All About with another watch review. In this review we're looking at the HDD watch, HD obviously referring to hard disk drive, and as you can see there's quite a obvious reason behind that. It's basically a hard drive with a movement in created into a watch basically. So this is an actual real 4GB hard drive that was purchased and has been converted into a watch, which is obviously a very neat and unique style. So obviously it's not really for everyone. It's a style that will only really appeal to certain people. But let's have a look to see if it is a decent watch for the money nonetheless. So currently it's on Indiegogo for €100 each, which in my mind is actually quite reasonable considering what goes into the watch, which we'll discuss in a bit more detail. After the Indiegogo campaign completes, there'll be a recommended retail price of €150, which still isn't really too bad. So let's think about the watch itself then. So it's made by a man, a Frenchman named Jean-Jérôme Cassalonga, and it is literally handmade by him in France, which is great, especially for this price. And he takes pride in the fact that every part of this watch is custom made. There's no stock items on it whatsoever, apart from obviously the hard drive and the quartz movement, which is a great thing to have, especially at this price point. So the things that he has had made custom made is the case to hold the hard drive, obviously the crystal on top, that includes the case back. The hands are custom made as well, you can see there, and the strap is custom made as well to go with the watch. So that's you know, there's quite a lot of time and effort that's gone into it, and money, considering you can buy one of these for €100 is quite good, considering the amount of customization that's gone into it. So let's have a look at it under closer detail. So as you can see, it is pretty much exactly as the hard drive would be normally. The case has got a very thin bezel around it, allowing the hard drive to do most of the talking. We then have the custom made hands coming out of the center of the actual hard drive disc itself. Obviously the design is based on the actuator, which is this bit here, which has just been pushed to the side. So as you can see, it's very reflective. This is all polished, so are the hands. So this amount of polished on the dial can make it a little bit difficult to read sometimes, depending on the reflections. Most of the time it doesn't really cause much of an issue though, so that's good. I mean, I can't particularly go into much more detail really. You can see it, and you can see that it's a real hard drive. I like the fact that they've left this little sticker on to split it up a bit, but again, it is a very specific design that will appeal to certain people. So the case that holds the hard drive in is all polished. It comes in left or right-handed version, so this is the left-handed version. Let me just put it on. So this is left-handed because this extra bit here ends up going up the forearm, so it's not digging into the back of your wrist. And then the right-handed version is basically the same but upside down, so it ends up going up the forearm. So there we go. So that's quite nice that you get a decision or a choice to, you know, to get the watch that suits you. So the case is extremely comfortable and very well machined actually. The polished finish is absolutely flawless. Let me just take it off again. So the polished finish is absolutely flawless, yes, and we have the case back as well. All these, this is all engraved and very, very deep, which is nice to see. Obviously, it's good quality that's gone into that. So the size is 37mm high by 42mm wide and just 8mm tall, so it is a very thin watch, and the lug to lug length there to there is 45mm. The lug width is 18mm as well, so you can get quite a variety of straps to fit it. Not that you'd want to swap this strap, as we'll go into more detail in a little while. It is a beautiful strap. So it is good that it's so thin, 8mm. It means it basically fits under anything you're wearing. It keeps it, even though it's square and looks relatively large, because it's so thin, it wears really comfortably as well, which is good. As well as that, it's only 65 grams on the 65 grams total weight, so it is incredibly light, which means that it is basically you don't notice you're wearing it. So it is so comfortable to wear, and this is mainly due to obviously the light weight, but also the strap is just so very, very soft. The strap is made of neoprene, which is a type of synthetic rubber, which is used on your car's fan belt, a wetsuit, or a ankle or wrist or knee braces. So you get the idea of how comfortable and soft it is. The design of this is designed by Jean-Jérôme Cassalonga himself, and the strap has been custom made to go with the watch. So a lot of time and effort has gone into it, and I honestly can say that this is probably the most comfortable strap I've ever worn. So it is that good. I'm really impressed by the strap. It's lovely. Yes, so if we just have a look at the underside, we'll just see that we have the website printed on the bottom, and we have a nice little PCB design. So he's done all this himself, which is very cool. I think as we continue on the strap, just the buckle is just plain polished, pretty standard buckle really. Nothing new there, and then we have some black keeper loops as well. Obviously it would have been nice to have something etched there, but it's no problem that we haven't. The movement is a Miyota GL20, which has been chosen. It's a quartz movement, and that movement has been chosen specifically because it's pretty much one of the thinnest movements you can get. The movement itself is only 2.28mm tall. Obviously it's got to fit underneath that hard drive right there. So if you think about it, it's right at the bottom, right there, really thin. So it is an exceptionally thin movement, as you can imagine. It's got about a 5-year battery life, and its accuracy is about plus or minus 20 seconds a month. So the usual suspects for a quartz movement. Okay, so I think that's everything covered. One final thing to mention is there is a few tiny marks on the underside, but obviously if you were to buy one, Jean-Jérôme Cassalonga will make sure that there's nothing, there's no marks or anything like that on your watch. So let's get the macro lens on, and we'll have a look at it at closer detail. Okay, just wipe it down. So if we have a look at the dial itself, there we go. So it's going to be quite hard to get a decent shot of this because it's completely polished, but you can see there the custom made hands are all excellently cut out and machined. The polished finish is really flawless as well, you can see there, and that's just see a few little flecks of dust on the underside. Let's have a quick look at part of the hard drive itself. There we go, and a nice little sticker there. There's the end of the actuator. Okay, so let's move on to the case itself. Short dumpy lugs, which help it, even though it's square and reasonably large, because they're so short and dumpy, it helps it wear relatively nice and comfy on the wrist. Just wipe that down, you can see it's very good polished finish, absolutely spotless. And then if we just have a look at the crown, again is polished, and it offers sufficient grip to be able to pull it out and adjust time. And then if we just have a look at this deep engraving on the back as well. So there we go, hddwatches.com. So just moving on to the strap. Here's his custom design under closer examination. And there we go. So there we go. It's a very good watch for the price. For 150 euros eventually, I mean you can get it now for 100 euros. It is a lot of customization and thought and effort that's gone into it. Personally, I probably wouldn't wear it all the time because obviously it is a very specific design, but I know many people who have seen it and absolutely love it. So if it's something that really appeals to you, it is has excellent build quality. There's a lot of time that's gone into it, and you'll have something very unique and well built. So, if it appeals to you, definitely go and buy it. I highly recommend it. So this is the HDD watches, and that's what it's all about.